Welcome to another episode of the Action Toon Bros. Princesses of Power Edition. I'm your host, Matthew Lewis.
And I'm Ben, the other host.
I assume those groans of agony are due to this batch of episodes, or...
No, it was what we did last time. My girl's dead forever.
Spoilers.
She's dead forever.
Yeah.
And I'm mad because Entrapta was the best. I mean, don't get me wrong. Scorpius is close second.
Like I said, I love Catra, but I don't know, it's time between favorite character, all the evil crew, which we'll talk about in the episode.
Now that I got all of that out of the way, if I remember correctly, and as I look across the table, we have two guests with us today.
Yeah, two guests are joining us again.
Yep. You may remember them from the last time, or if this is your first episode, why would you start at the
in the middle of the series, you idiot? Stop it.
Don't call us listeners.
Well, they're starting here. They're idiots.
Anyway, we have Tara Nestor with us today.
Yo.
And we also have Kaylee Wetzel, also known as just Kay.
Just call me Kay. It's easier that way.
It really is.
Yeah.
Especially when your last name sounds like pretzel.
I know.
I'm going to say, is it Wetzel?
Yeah,
I don't think I've
Wetzel.
heard your last name before.
It's Wetzel, or in German, it's Wetzel.
It's Wetzel. Get that right.
Wetzel.
And of course, our lovely lesbian couple right here, and artistes. Just a week.
High five.
But now to get serious.
Oh, yeah.
This batch of episodes.
The actual finale of the first season.
Yeah, that is what we're leading up to with this recording session.
Yeah, this little batch.
So much happened in our last recording episode.
No, yeah.
So much happened.
We discussed a lot about the She-Ra, news regarding the series and other series related to it. Talked a lot about the He-Man stuff. And the connections are like thereof in this series. Speaking of which, we do get Bright Hope. You asked me before if Bright Hope had anything to do with He-Man. And I was very
You mean
vague.
Light Hope?
Light Hope. Bright Moon, Light Hope.
Yeah, Bright Moon, Light Hope.
Yeah. Tongue twister ass close names.
Shadow
Weaver, Light Spinner.
But now, shall we begin?
Oh yeah, jumping right into episode 10, The Beacon. Come on, Ben.
No.
You fucked it up.
I'm sorry. I'm still kind of bummed out, but anyway, episode 10.
Yeah, The Beacon.
There we go.
Speaking of being bummed out, it immediately starts with Adora taking entire responsibility for Entrapta's loss. And then Mermista and Perfuma immediately being like, this entire alliance was a mistake.
Yep.
Not them screwing up the plan, but...
Well, I mean, they had one really bad thing, and their first ever rescue mission ended with the death of someone.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're going to be bummed out, and they're just like, you know what? Princess Alliance, done.
Yeah, Adora is way too bummed out to even stop them from dissolving the entire alliance.
Pretty much.
We see everyone going back to their own kingdoms and, walling them up or setting themselves separate, just like they were at the beginning of the series.
Closing off every wall and everything like that. I mean... Makes sense.
I think it's, is it Perfuma who was a big statue to Entrapta, memorializing her?
It was like a big vine kind of statue.
Yeah.
For Entrapta, yeah.
Angela, greets Glimmer, treats her like a baby. She's like, leave me alone. This is upsetting. And also
Mom, it's fine.
Yeah.
And of course, she got captured by the Horde.
Tortured.
Is semi-tortured, came back, and all of a sudden, oh my gosh, I'm worried. I'm like, you know what, Angela? Of all the times I've seen you, this one is merited. You deserve this one because a lot happened. And Glimmer's just like, Mom, I'm fine. This is typical Tuesday. I'm like, no, it's not.
No, it's really not.
Yeah, she wanders off.
Listen here, you fucking child.
Yeah,
right.
Glimmer literally wanders off and realizes that she can't use her powers and she keeps being in pain from the electric blackguarded torture she suffered from Shadow Weaver.
Right.
Continues to make her powers not function and is still causing her pain. Angela, of course, already knows about Entrapta's loss, and is just like, I'm sorry about everything that happened. And Glimmer just stops everyone from explaining anything that happens, and just says, we need to pull ourselves together, I just need some time alone, just leave me alone.
I just need to, recharge at the Moonstone is all.
Yeah, back in the Fright Zone, Hordak is chastising Shadow Weaver for losing Glimmer and Adora, hiding the fact that she knew Adora was She-Ra the entire time. And Catra's just in the background giggling to herself that Shadow Weaver's in trouble. We do see a purple-eyed figure watching from the grates.
Don't get my hopes up.
Who could it be? Bright Moon, Glimmer charges. It does not work. Adora continues to practice, feeling that she screwed up and the Entrapta was killed because she wasn't strong enough.
Right, and then that's when one of the powers that they mentioned that She-Ra does is heal. And, well, Adora doesn't know how to do that. So she's going to try it out.
Keep trying to figure out why.
Because in the past, when something really got bad, she would just, it would just happen. Mm-hmm. Well, so why not practice it?
Yep. We see that in the Fright Zone, Catra continues to be gleeful that Hordak is blaming Shadow Weaver for everything that went wrong. But we see a weird robot that keeps following her and Scorpia down the hallway.
It's funny. It's just one of the Horde drones. But every single time they turn around to look at it, it just... I'm not doing anything. Suspicious. Yeah, Catra's then starts sniffing like a little cat and finds Entrapta hiding in a pipe. She wasn't dead at all.
Yay.
No, seriously, I was sincerely bummed out. Then this happened, and I was extremely happy again. And now they have captured Entrapta.
Yeah. And captured her.
Did I say captured?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I thought I just said captured. Anyway.
Glimmer thinks that she's just sick, and that's why her powers aren't functioning properly. Adora continues to blame herself, and Bo makes some soup for the group.
Hey, you know what?
When in doubt, some good soup.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. Soup is not a bad choice.
Of course, Bo's
like I said, when in doubt, good soup.
Yeah. And I don't know about Bo's cooking, but it sounds pretty damn good.
I'm sure if it's anything like it's midriff, it's wonderful. Glimmer...
if it's anything like it's midriff.
Glimmer can't get into her bed because it's too high up in the ceiling. She can't teleport to it.
Why is my bed so high up? You put it there.
Yeah.
Crap!
Dora's like, I'll heal you, and then she's just swinging the sword around facing Glimmer, and Bo's like, maybe you shouldn't point the sword at her, and then maybe you kind of jab it towards my direction, maybe that'll help.
No! And then at this point, Angela comes back and is like, are you ready to tell me what went on? No! I mean, not yet. I mean, Mom, stop being embarrassing. And of course, Angela's like, dude!
Yeah, I'm sorry, but we finally go back to the Fright Zone, and Entrapta and her hair are both in shackles.
Which I think is hilarious, because they're like, what are we going to do with this prisoner? Just talk. And Entrapta's like, talking normally, while her hair slips out normally.
Yeah, what do you want to know? Blah, 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 blah. Just tells them everything is very open and very kind to them.
And then she actually mentions that the tech is very similar to First One's tech.
Oh, before that, Entrapta does, while Catra's trying to threaten her by, torture interrogation, she just lets her hair out, grabs the torture device. Oh, what's this? How's this work? Let me see that.
Yes, I love it so much. It's like, you're so precious, why?
She said that she wants to stay here, and hey, man, I'm just going to wait for my friends here. Well, and then, she starts grabbing at Scorpia's tail, and Scorpia's like, you don't just grab a woman's tail, what are you doing?
You don't grab a woman's tail? That has a paralyzing agent, doesn't it? I need to study.
Then Catra just suddenly switches to another tactic and begins fondling Entrapta's hair and being really nice and polite to her, hey, I can't believe they left you behind like that. It's like, no, they didn't leave me behind. Oh, are you sure? And she's really nice to her suddenly.
Yeah, this entire time Entrapta's recording things, and Entrapta's day, I forget what day it is. It's 40 something or whatever. That's a lot of days. Yeah. Not gonna lie. Maybe this Catra has a point here. Yeah. I'm like, no.
She says, this Horde tech is pretty good, and it kind of reminds me of the First One's tech. And it's when she is going to...
Who's in the what?
What?
No, Catra's the who's in the what?
Yeah, she's like, what's the first one? What are you talking about?
Yeah. And then, of course, that's when, it's revealed what everyone else knows. It's First One's tech. Tech that was well before, the dawn of our time, in the Whispering Woods,
Oh, yeah. But before that, they continued to, jab swords at Glimmer, trying to figure out how to heal her, and it does not work. Scorpia is patching the wall that Entrapta destroyed while she was experimenting with the robots, making them more powerful. And Catra continues to contemplate what to do with Entrapta and how useful she's being. It's a wonderful scene of her joining the team. It's so good. She thinks that it'll impress Hordak and make the Horde stronger if they allow Entrapta to mess with the technology that they own.
Well, she's still a prisoner technically, because they're like, I don't know what to do. I don't trust Entrapta, but holds up this thing that Entrapta gave them gave Catra to go through and find the first one's tech. But if this actually works, she might be useful to us.
Mm-hmm. Angela continues to try to talk to Glimmer about what happened. Glimmer continues to avoid it, so she says, "Here's a note. You're coming to dinner. Come alone. No excuses." And there's just like, we have no idea what to do. And She-Ra finally realizes, oh, Madame Raz, that weird temple that she took me to.
Yeah, the temple that Madame Raz took me to. That might have answers.
Yeah. Catra packs up for her trip, and Shadow Weaver asks, "What are you doing?" And she says, "Hey, man, I'm just going to reassure Hordak what we're doing. Don't worry about it." And Shadow Weaver almost apologizes for treating Catra badly.
Yeah, half apologize.
She almost apologizes for how she treated her in the past, and it's like she's like, whatever.
No. She specifically is like, "I'm not going to apologize because I built you up to this."
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Half apology gone.
More of that later. Bo, of course, blames himself for not sticking with Glimmer at the prom for the reason for them getting captured. She apologizes for her horrible attitude, being all Sundari jealous regarding him.
Sundari jealous. And then they just hug it out like friends.
She-Ra heads to the woods, and Glimmer finally goes to dinner with her mom and shows that she has been still affected by the torturing by the Black Garnet.
Yeah. Oh, this moment right here.
Yeah, she actually
was actually great because Glimmer starts, as they called it, glitching.
Yeah.
And Angela's like, what's going on? And Glimmer never wanted to tell her mom any of this because she always feels like a failure. She did the thing that her mom always warned her not to do and everything. So she's just like, I didn't want this to happen. I didn't want you to know. And then we get quite a bomb drop here. Because Angela's just like, oh, you think you're a failure? I'm the one who got your dad killed. I'm just like, hold the presses, what? And apparently we find out that Angela gave the order to go on that attack, which was the same attack that, her husband, Glimmer's dad, died in. Mm-hmm. And ever since then, she felt responsible for that.
Yeah, and the dismantlement of the original Princess Alliance.
Yeah.
That has also failed.
And of course she's like, I don't want you to actually, fail at what you're doing. I don't want you to make my mistake. I'm just like, holy crap.
Yeah, it was because Glimmer is also talking about how she feels responsible for this Princess Alliance falling apart. And it's just like such a hugely, intensely sad scene. It's so well made. It's so good. They make up and they say they're going to re-establish the Princess Alliance. Catra and Adora are both in the woods at the same time, kind of creeping around.
Because of course they are.
Catra's trying to use the weird device that she was given, and she's like, "Stupid thing doesn't work." Yeah,
just smashes it. Adora's breaking rocks and shouting at the sky, trying to figure out, where are you, Temple?
And all of a sudden, light.
Yeah, she breaks down. Adora finally breaks down, and the temple reveals itself to her. And Catra sees Adora, and we get a nice. Hey, Adora.
And then episode ends. Episode ends there.
Yeah, we wrap that one up quick.
What a brat. She sounds like,
I know, she's such a little character. She's such an evil character. I love her. But I was going to say, speaking of evil character, yeah. But I was going to say, Entrapta joining the Horde team and helping. I knew this from before because I knew Entrapta was a bad guy character when she was introduced in the original in the first episode, 4 or whatever she was introduced in. I knew she was bad already, and I was very much looking forward to how that's going to happen.
Now. Putting this in D&D terms, she's not evil.
Well,
she's chaotic neutral.
Absolutely,
she's absolutely chaotic neutral.
Yeah, I must say, inside baseball, so was my character Doink. A lot of bad happens as a result of a chaotic neutral character.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. You wanted him to be evil in the end.
He wasn't evil.
You and Famke were so evil that Zephyr decided, I'm going to go... Oh, right.
That's
oops.
We can't get too inside baseball.
Wrong character, oops.
But also, it's like, chaotic neutral just means that they have their own interests and they shall act upon them. And it's... In Entrapta's case, she's not trying to be selfish. She has metaphorical blinders on. She cares about science. And so, where her interest goes, that's where she will go.
And the Horde Tech is like her a big old playground.
The thing is, Entrapta, when you first meet her,
she has no other humans around her. Like, you don't know what happened to her parents.
Except for the 3 servants.
But she doesn't talk to them.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's the
not engaged with them
thing.
at
She
all.
doesn't talk to them. She only talks to robots and machinery. So she has very little human interaction. So you don't know, at one point, did her parents disappear or die, and she was left on her own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't know about that.
I was going to say, also,
You're
like,
right.
yeah, and also her, like, I don't want to say disregard, but, like, her very low regard for, like, the rebellion and the Horde fight. Because remember, like, in the Princess Prom episode, she barely remembered that she was part of the Alliance. She barely remembered that the Horde was, quote-unquote, bad from their point of view, and she was supposed to be
she was
helping
like,
them.
huh? What?
She's like, what? Oh, is that what you're doing? I wanted to say the discussion I wanted to have was about the evil campaign is finally together. The trio of bad guys, Scorpia, Catra, and Trapta, are finally together, and they're going to have a lot of adventures going forward.
I hope so. I still think Entrapped is my favorite.
I was about to say, yeah, what do you think of Entrapped?
She's still my
still
my favorite, and honestly, because of the information that she was fed,
yeah,
and all of that, I'm like, you know what? It makes sense that Entrapped would do this because, like Kaylee said earlier, she just cares about technology. She just cares about, doing science things.
Yeah.
Has had no interactions with people, except for the Princess Prom, but that was literally just a social experiment for her.
Social experiment.
And here, like I said earlier, here it's just a big old playground. She has all the tech she can just tinker around with.
Yeah, and improve what she does.
Yeah. We already knew that she improved it like tenfold. But to her, that's not what the point is. The point is that she gets to play with new toys.
Yeah, but also this is what the Horde evil campaign party needed, was some brains.
Yeah, right.
Between a very mean leader in Catra who is strong and competent, and then Scorpia.
She's the muscle.
Yeah.
Be fair.
Yeah,
we have the heart.
we have the strength. We had the charisma. Now all we needed was intelligence, and that's Entrapta.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, God, I love that.
Yeah, so I'm not like I was surprised. Obviously, I'm just no one Entrapta, don't do this.
Really?
And then I'm like, but then I'm like, you know what? This
And then there's Matt.
Yeah. I was just like, oh hell yeah.
But later on, I'm like, you know what? This actually makes sense though.
100%.
Because I mean,
from her point of view, this is everything she could have wanted, and she was partially manipulated into it, thinking that the connections she did make were faulty ones, that she was deliberately left behind or sacrificed.
Right? Yeah. So it does make sense, and like you said, like later on, especially in this matchup episodes, later on with the way they synergize together, it's so fun. Speaking of which, we should probably get to episode 11.
I was gonna say we could really rush through that episode, but these next two are going to be a lot more dense. That was a very also we didn't talk about the relationship Angela and Glimmer finally having some time together after the crazy attack.
I was wondering when that was going to happen.
Yeah,
and honestly, and honestly, like I think I may have mentioned this in our first recording episodes of this. Yeah. I did not like Angela at all. She was super strict. She was just like, yes, do the whole Princess Alliance thing, and didn't treat her daughter well. This episode, we finally found out why that was. And I'm like, you know what? She's just an overprotective parent for good reason. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I apologize for all those times I said you weren't that great. I understand you now.
Yeah, she's a great character. Also,
they both are.
A little bit more sprinkling of about Micah, Glimmer's father, and the former Princess Alliance.
Yep.
Oh, God, so good.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah. But we really sped through that episode because it was relatively light. Because
it was one of the lighter ones, because now we have the last 3 episodes of the season,
which are boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. And the first two of the 3 we're about to talk about right now.
Oh yeah.
Dense.
Episode 11. Promise. Catra continues the tree climb, watching Adora enter the temple, jumping behind her. And as soon as the doors are closing, she jumps in. Adora wanders around the weird high-tech halls, calling out for Light Hope with the sword. Like, I have the sword, Light Hope, where are you? And then that hilarious low-power hologram comes up. Like, what is your query?
What is your query? What is your query? Wait, we're seriously going to do this? What is your query?
Well, how do I heal? What is your query?
Okay. This is like, for the honor of Grayskull.
Yeah, Catra's kind of smirking at Adora not being able to get anything done.
Right.
She transforms, the hologram recognizes her, and we learn that the sword is a portable runestone.
Mm-hmm.
She keeps asking, "How do I heal? How do I heal?"
Yes, one of the aspects is to heal and bring balance to the world. No, I get that, but how do I? It's like literally someone who doesn't know how to use a search engine trying to use a search engine.
Very crappy Alexa. Just like, what is blah, blah, blah.
I don't know. Alexa herself kind of misinterprets things all the time.
Often. It's very funny.
That's it. It's a person to Alexa. How do I do this? How do you this? No.
But while she's asking, Catra's kind of slinking around in the background and just like pulls a random piece of tech off of something.
It was a data crystal, if you noticed. Yeah, she just pulls a data crystal and then everything goes to shit.
Yeah.
It was like, intruder alert, intruder alert. Then those giant spider things come back.
Yeah, Adora blasts the terminal when, just out of anger, the hologram then sends the robots after them. They start running together as she sees Catra. Wait, did she shoot it because she sees Catra on it?
Yeah, well, no, I don't think this is that time, but it's just, they start coming and, she just got upset kind of thing. Yeah. But then she notices Catra's there. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And Catra's like, what am I doing? What are you doing?
Since they have robugs, whatever the hell those things are.
Yeah, right, you know what, let's just call them robugs.
They run together and Adora explains what's going on. They collapse, or the tunnel behind them collapses, and of course Adora just untransforms. Adora asks if Shadow Weaver knows that Catra's here. Catra's like, no, she doesn't.
Why would she?
No.
Also, does she know that she let Adora escape? And then we get another, it's not like I like you or anything, from Catra.
Dude, I don't like you. Shut up.
Yeah, shut up.
Like, oh, God.
Shut up, blushy face.
Yeah, Adora literally is like smirking like, oh, come on. They reluctantly walk the halls together until Adora spots a door, and she opens with the words Eternia again.
Oh no, I just realized something horrible.
What?
Adora found a door.
Last episode, I just said like Adorable like 100 times, so like every time I say Adora, I was like, oh, automatically that's what you think of.
I mean, that's where the name basically came
100%.
from.
Mm-hmm.
Adore! Anyway, sorry.
The room is full of infinite darkness. As they walk into it, it suddenly turns into a hologram of the Fright Zone. Adora thinks it's some kind of trick, but Catra sees the guards are actually, they're also just holograms.
Yeah, well, they're all like, what's going on? How did we get to the Fright Zone? They both want answers from each other, and they can't. And so they just explore, and of course Catra's like, hey, hello, guard. And like, goes to poke him in the head, it's like, zzz.
Yeah, it's like,
these guys are fake.
Yep, Adora sees a little kid Catra running, a little cute, nice little Catra running across the thing. They watch a scene of themselves as kids of Catra being a little stink, being like, I scratched that guard's eye because she said something mean or whatever.
It's a meanie butt or something like that.
Like, dumb face or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
it was a dumb face.
I scratched her eye.
And she's like, oh, come on.
Yeah,
they go through that exact same part of the door. It's just like, hey, you have a dumb face. And then they both run because, kids, rascals.
Yeah, as they run as kids, remembering that little memory, you see them both return into older forms, and then immediately Catra lets go of Adora's hand out of anger. So Cinder. They continue to flee. Adora sees that this is a simulation based off their memories. She finally realizes what's going on. Catra then refuses to apologize for letting Glimmer get tortured after capturing her.
Shocker.
Yeah, she's a very reluctant little cat.
Reluctant little ... cat.
You can say bitch. It's okay.
No, she's wonderful.
No, she's a cat, not a dog.
Adora asks why Catra helped her escape, and they take turns saving each other from falls.
Right. And of course, Catra's all like, I didn't need you to save me.
Yeah. But then we get a nice little commiserating over the Fright Zone and happy memories they had together even while training. It's such a little cute scene of them. Another hologram shows them fighting with Lonnie and Adora getting praise from the group and making friends while Catra just slinks off by herself and cries. It's just, very depressing. Yeah. It's very depressing seeing like how weird of a character she is, but I love her. But let's see, more cybugs. I wrote in my note now this time.
Interruption. Yeah. Suddenly, cybugs.
Yeah, robugs, cybugs, whatever. They attack, Catra flees. This time, they actually grab Catra and take her away. She frees herself eventually. Adora kills the bug, and Catra still won't listen to anything Adora has to say. denying that she helped or denying that she needs any saving.
denies everything, denies her feelings for her.
Yeah, I know. Adora finally apologizes to Catra and says, please just come with me. We see another memory that shows them as kids sneaking around into the Black Garnet room.
This memory.
Yeah.
Oh boy. This answered so many questions about Catra with me.
We actually get to see, while they see that that's the memory they're going into, Adora is actually hesitant to adult Catra, saying, Catra, we don't have to see this one.
Yeah, we don't have to go in there.
Ugh.
And Catra just ignores and just goes in anyway.
Yep.
I'm just sitting here like, oh dear.
Yeah, they mess with the Black Garnet, and we see a drained Shadow Weaver coming in to recharge. She takes off her masks, and we see that her face is very veiny and scarred for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
She catches both of them in the process of trying to sneak out of the Black Garnet room, and she punishes Catra incredibly harshly. She's
So you're nothing but a nuisance. How dare you do this? And Adora is like, hey, I was the one who did this. And of course it's like, Adora, you don't have to worry about things like this. Just don't let it happen again. You, on the other hand,
yeah, she literally threatens to kill Catra, and she does this again, and it's just like, oh my god.
It actually reminds me of what narcissistic parents actually do. They'll choose one to uplift and make to be perfect, and one to be the scapegoat for everything, and then one thing that they actually do is try to pit them against each other.
Yeah.
Or expect the one that they are using as the scapegoat to pretty much be a servant to the other, which is what Shadow Weaver is essentially doing with Catra.
It's incredibly traumatizing because, I said she even threatens to kill her if she screws up again. It's just incredibly awful. Older Catra shouts at Adora for never doing enough to protect her against Shadow Weaver.
Yeah, it was always
incredibly harsh.
Why did you always have to play the hero kind of thing? Why didn't you do more? And of course Adora's like, what? I didn't like, and I tried my best, and he's like, and Catra's like, one of the ones that stuck with me is, you wouldn't want to do anything to get on Shadow Weaver's bad side. I'm like, ouch. Yeah,
but then Adora comes back with, you could leave like I did at any time. And Catra says she doesn't want to leave. She enjoys the authority and praise of being a Force captain. She wants to be there, but it's just, you have to deal with Shadow Weaver and all her horribleness.
And like that right there, the whole I like being Force captain and everything like that.
You didn't care about that stuff. She's like, I was lying.
Yeah, I was obviously lying. Why do you think I gave you the sword? I didn't want you to come back kind of thing. I'm like, ouch!
Oh, God. The bugs, of course, interrupting this incredibly, insanely tender and important and immensely depressing scene. The bugs again attack again, and Adora loses the sword. Catra slashes her way through the memories, completely trying to ignore everything around her, until she sees another very young version of herself in Adora. And Adora's
younger than the first vision they had.
Youngest we've ever seen them. And Adora promises to always protect her. Adora nearly drops off of a cliff.
Actually, before that, one small detail that I thought was very important. After that scene happens, they start walking out, and young Catra looks directly at older Catra, and then leaves. I'm just like, I don't know why, but I feel like this is important.
Maybe.
But anyway,
This is when Adora continues to fall, or continues to wander the halls and falls almost off of a cliff.
And of course, hanging on to some of that sticky thread.
Yeah, but the robots are all killed by Catra, who has the sword now. And we get, of course, a "Hey, Adora." One of the worst ones so far. It's intense. Catra asks if the sword would work for her, and she kind of again says, Shadow Weaver always said you were special, but what if I, she's just kind of talking about Shadow Weaver and how she was treated again. And this is when we find out that Catra thinks Adora just wanted her as a sidekick, and that her leaving the Horde was
the best thing that ever happened to her.
Yeah.
And of course, as she's slowly cutting the thing that Adora's and of course, Adora is absolutely devastated by this.
Yeah, she says that while she's cutting, so she says, I wish I would have gotten rid of you sooner, so I would be out from under your shadow. It's just, Adora apologizes. And Catra just tosses the sword, all over the cliff, and says, "I'm gonna miss you."
Bye, Adora. I really am gonna miss you, and then just leaves.
The hologram fades out, and
you must let go.
Yeah, Light Hope again tells her that. And I'm about to say, we very randomly, you hear like a GTA wasted noise, like that.
Yeah.
She falls. It's so weird.
It really is. This is like kind of odd.
Yeah. As she falls in the fright zone, Scorpio is telling Entrapta all about Catra and her time together and how much best friends they are. And she's so wonderful.
Did I tell you about the time I was on a boat? We were on a boat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did.
Plays recording.
Yeah, by the way, we were on a boat together. I love it. And of course, Catra walks in and says, hey, you.
No, yeah, Scorpio's like, oh my god, I was so worried about you, okay? And
Yeah.
it's just like, she's like, yeah, I'm fine, don't worry.
Yeah, I'm fine. Well, then she also, like, tosses the,
She's like, why is Entrapta out? And she's, well, Entrapta's been actually helping us with this stuff. And she's like, oh, great, here.
Yeah, here, take a look at this. And even Entrapta's like, I've never had such a refined and actually fresh data crystal before. And of course, you know, she's gushing over tech, and Scorpio's just like, yeah, what is it called? The best friend trio or whatever?
I think they call it even close to the best friend squad, almost.
Yeah, it's something like, she's like, yeah, we're back together and everything.
Yep.
And Catra just is like, yeah,
They're dancing, literally.
I need a moment.
Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna go to, like, they said, like, oh, we're best friends, well, Catra, you're the best. And then she kind of just, like, the person was like, I'm going to bed. And
Yeah,
then just
I need
leaves.
to get some sleep.
And
then...
that's the end of the episode. Now...
Okay, nope. I have to mention this. No, because this is literally how I felt this entire episode. Because it was all about Catra and She-Ra.
Yeah.
If you asked me a question on the previous the Princess Prom episode.
Yeah.
This is where my answer comes in.
Mm-hmm.
The entire time I'm looking at Adora and Catra like, just kiss already. You two, the tension is so thick I could cut it with a plastic fork.
No.
I'm just like, just
No, but it's gonna be complicated because I know like Kay has a lot of complicated feelings. I want to talk about you in depth about it. It'll spoil the rest of the series. But I was talking to Tara about this the other day about characters like Catra, who are given a ton of opportunities to do the right or selfless thing. I brought up Regina from Once Upon a Time.
Yes.
Chloe Price from Life is Strange.
Mm-hmm.
Or, to a not less evil extent, Korra from Legend of Korra.
Yes.
Just, like, always, like, hitting crossroads constantly where you can, like, do the right choice or do the selfish or borderline evil choice. And they just, like, make the wrong one every time.
They can be very frustrating, but if done right, you can also be motivated to, in a way, root for them.
Yeah, because I would say this is like in my notes for the bottom of this episode. I literally wrote like true villain arc, like right here for her taking the message, her taking the message that Adora's like, I'm going to protect you, and like, you know, kind of just dragging her along as like she wants me to just follow behind her. She wants me to always be you know, beneath her, and like it's just like such an intense like negative way to interpret it.
Yeah, literally twisted it in a negative way
Yeah.
to make it like, oh, she just wanted me to, you know, be the sideshow while she was like standing in glory and everything.
Yeah.
Now, chill out when I say this because I know it's not exactly the same, but I kind of got a vibe from MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Loki and Thor.
Oh,
Loki,
absolutely.
Yes.
In the first Thor movie, surprisingly enough, I noticed this is the only time it's been mentioned, like this actual aspect of it. Because in the first, like the big climax, spoilers if you haven't seen the Thor movie. If you don't care, that's fine. I get it because it's Thor. But anyway, in like the big climax in the Bifrost, Loki mentions he never wanted the throne. He just wanted out of Thor's shadow.
Yes.
I'm like, this is the first and only time this is mentioned because every time after it, he just wants to rule. I'm like, that's kind of opposite. But either way, that's pretty much Catra and Adora. Catra's not seeing, like, you know...
Another example, if you ever saw it, was the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. It's very much Celestia and Luna as well. That dynamic can be seen in lots of places where you have the one who is held up as the shining star, the perfect one, and then you have the younger and or the one that everybody sees as inferior, lesser, or is less liked. Yeah. And then there's building resentment toward the one that's the quote-unquote perfect one, even if the quote-unquote perfect one themselves never wanted that, or saw the other person as their equal. But it's a common trope because to a certain extent it kind of does happen.
Oh yeah,
largely
very much
in
so.
Largely in like I said, people with narcissistic or otherwise emotionally abusive parents or authority figures. They'll have that one person they focus all their attention on, and that one person where they're just like, and then there's you.
Yeah, it's like it's such an interesting dynamic because like Catra is so driven by how they were both raised by Shadow Weaver to turn out the way she is, but she does have her own, like, even when she sees Adora making friends with Lonnie and them while they're kids, I remember back to, I think it was like the first episode where like she was like, I guess we can't all be people pleasers like you, and that's how she interprets Adora's general niceness as like trying to win people over, and
just
she's like,
like,
I'm not gonna do
this
that.
is a manipulation tactic. I've seen that. Well, I don't have to play your games. I'll be good by my own merit.
Yeah, and I was gonna say after this,
You okay?
She's just choking on my own spit.
Okay.
I'm about to say, so given this part, not to say what's gonna happen in the future, but do you think she can come back from what she's just did?
Well,
to kill.
Like it's first off, it's way too early to tell because it literally just happened.
Yeah, I'm about to say there's gonna be a lot more ups and downs.
But if I'm going to take any stab at how this series as a whole is going to, since I've only watched the first season, I'm going to assume that somewhere down the line something's going to happen. Hodark is going to...
Hodark? Hodor?
Yeah. No, not Hodor.
Hodor.
Hordak.
Big bad evil guy is going to do something that Catra... Even Scorpion and Chapter are not gonna like, and they're gonna side with the good guys because stories like this usually tend this way. Although there are a lot of twists and turns in this, I might be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. But something tells me that later down the line, something's gonna happen, and the bad guy, some of the bad guys are gonna be good guys, and blah blah blah. You know what this trope's going for.
I was gonna say, speaking of tropes, does this series so far seem like one to like dedicatedly follow tropes in any way, shape, or form?
Dedicated tropes? Yeah, one trope actually. Shattering tropes.
I was gonna say, realistically, tropes are not the same thing as cliches. Tropes are tools, building blocks by which to make a story. Anybody who has been like up at 3 a.m. going through TV tropes would recognize that. But tropes are just a starting point, kind of like any character sheet in any tabletop game. You just sit down and sure, they're going to be this class, but there's a million ways, like, not every sorcerer or artificer or whatever is going to be the same. Just like you can take a trope and either use it as a crutch or a building tool. This show these people use it as a building tool.
Right, and that's why I'm using that's why I like that we're using the word trope, not cliche, because like you said, tropes are not like
people treat it like a negative thing online sometimes, and it's like what the word you're thinking of is cliche, which is it's overused and they're using it as a crutch and to inform the story rather than, hey, these are things that echo, at least in some way, realities or human nature, and we're going to build off of that.
Correct. Yes, and
like it's a cliche, or an example. A cliche is when you have a very boring character, and I mean a very boring character, but everyone seems to be drawn to them for no reason.
Yeah, like if the hero is someone, unlikable, not very characteristic, but they're the hero, you have to be like, oh, they're the hero. We have to like be drawn to our attention to them. That's a cliche. But like in this one, where the hero at first didn't think much about being the hero, and now she has evolved into what she is now. Yeah, that's a trope.
Yeah, you're talking about Catra.
No,
the hero of the show now. the main character of the evil campaign. That is She-Ra and the Princesses of Power.
Matt, sometimes you're so adorable I could pinch your little head off.
And not yet. We still have another episode to get to.
Oh, we have 2 more episodes to get through.
Yeah. I keep just counting how many there are in this recording.
Like this one right now, episode 12.
Light Hope.
Yes, we finally get to meet Light Hope.
Yeah. Adora's falling down a large pit of memories. We see herself, we see her friends, we see Hordak, we see Catra. She awakens, and now a more stable hologram of Light Hope as she nervously.
Is it a hologram?
What the hell? Yeah, of course it is.
I thought it was actually her because she's more like she's not
like
necessarily.
It's like an AI, like
it's an AI, but the
hologram projection.
The projection is
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, either way, we actually get to see.
I mean, did you ever watch Star Trek Voyager?
Oh, the Doctor.
Voyager.
The Doctor, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, Voyager. No.
Their Doctor is
Trek.
literally yes.
Mm-hmm.
The Doctor is literally a hologram, but with a personality. A wonderful one at that.
Oh, so
Tuvok, I understand. You are a Vulcan man. You have now been without for 7 years about.
Tuvok is one of my favorite characters in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. But to go to a different media that I know you would understand. I think you two would understand too. Cortana.
Yeah,
from
absolutely,
Halo.
absolutely.
It's
an
pretty much
AI that has that just like makes a hologram projection of
Yes,
itself.
very much so.
Well, either way, we actually get to see Light Hope, and of course,
she's like, "I've been waiting for you since you were a baby," and like, I wish I could have saved you from the Horde. And Dora's like, "You watched me since I was a baby? That's kind of creepy."
Yeah. I like that. They didn't go with the fascinating. They went with the
because I mean,
yeah, it is when you think about that in other shows. It's like I've been watching you from afar since you were young, and the heroes are just like, omnipotent being. No, in this one they're like, no, that's actually really creepy.
Light Hope's like, yes, I've been called creepy before.
Which I love.
Actually, yeah.
And
then as an AI, she's just like,
wonderful. Glimmer is still hurt, and Bo continues to comfort her as they search for where Adora went. The guards are on alert, trying to find them, trying to see what's going on, as they say, "Oh my God, wait! There's some kind of creature inside the base."
by the way, there's something here. Something here to see you. Don't you mean someone? No, I mean something. I love this part so much because, not given a name, the horse appears. It is just like, "Hello there, it's our horse." Yes, I am, but I'd rather be called Swiftwind.
yes,
our horse can talk.
he's
okay.
so dramatic.
But I just like it, and he's just sitting here like, okay, like I'll give you guys a moment to freak out about the talking horse. I love that too because he's just like, because I always wondered about that when an animal just talks, and he's just like, yeah, okay. I'll give you a moment, then can we get to the important part?
Yeah, he keeps trying to tell them, like, okay, come on, Adora's in trouble. Like, oh my God, the horse is actually talking. It's like, okay, well, she's in trouble. I can sense that she's in trouble. Glimmer wants to go, but Bo is worried about her continuing the glitch. She says she wants to sneak out, but Angela hears and encourages her, no, you do, go sneak out. Go save her.
And I just like it because it's like, hey, you're not planning on leaving, are you? It's just like, well, you gotta go and save her, don't you?
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
Yeah, and while they exit on Swiftwind is like, I do want to tell you about freeing all the horses in the stables. And you're like, come on, let's get out of here.
Yeah. And then we go back to the fright zone.
Yeah, Katra arrives in Entrapto's lab and like, wow, I am really impressed with all you've done here. She keeps fondling Entrapto's hair all the time too. It's very cute.
Well, I mean, okay, let's be real.
I assume it's a cat thing.
If you met someone whose hair could do that, wouldn't you?
But I 100% assume it's a cat thing. Like, it's like I was clawing at her hair.
I would be the one like looking at the hair and just be like trying to feel around, like, where's the limbs?
Entrapta has utilized the crystal, and she's going to amplify the power. Like, what do you say? Use English. And she, like, in very layman's terms, talks down to Katra and Scorpio, like, I'm going to use the computer to make it stronger.
But, no, hey, by the way, that's not yet.
No, just not.
Because in this episode, this is the one where they're. Oh no, you're right.
Yeah, she explains it to them. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right. Sorry.
He's looking at you like, has the notes?
Well,
I thought Shadow Weaver came in and it was like, don't you like?
No, she doesn't know about that yet. It's when Entrapta. She's trying to figure out how to use the Black Garnet to amplify it.
Yep. And then that's when, and then like in the distance, you see like glowing baby eyes.
Yeah, we don't know what's
It
going on.
literally looks like a baby with wings.
Yeah.
And then as all this is happening,
but in Trapdoor, she said she gives the layman explanation. She says
layman
discovered literally. That's how I wrote it. But she talks about she's made many discoveries about the first one's tech and the Horde's tech, as well as a bunch of about the planet and how it functions. And it's just like, oh, I've discovered so much. It's going to be amazing. Well, all the stuff that I've learned. I just want to cut back. There's going to be a lot of cutting back and forth between the
there really is. Because
Catra.
after Entrapta explains all this, that's when you see, weird baby eyes. And then it crawls away, and then Hordak's like, oh, my little spy. Tell me, what have you found out? And all it does is opens its mouth, and it was just a recording.
Oh, wait, that's way later. We have
I thought it was...
It's like intercutting between Adora getting the explanation from Light Hope regarding the rune stones and what the point of them is.
Oh.
Yeah,
there's
For a
so many
hot
cuts.
second, I did, however, forget about that little baby thing.
The imp? I think his name is Imp.
It was just Imp.
Yeah,
So
Imp.
creepy.
Either way, there's so many cuts in this episode, not
Imp is
gonna lie.
adorable.
Imp's great.
But either way, you were saying...
Light Hope explains that the first ones were explorers from space, and they built the Crystal Castle for She-Ra. She-Ra is a champion there, used to unite worlds together for Eternia.
And this is also when...
And it's a title, we find out.
Yeah, it's not only is it a title, but you also find out that Adora is the first one in 100 years.
1,000.
Oh, I thought it was 100.
It's 1,000.
But either way, for a really long time. Yeah, 1,000 years.
Yeah,
because
immediately that's what he cut back to Entrapta, telling them the whole planet is like a giant First One's tech. It's mirroring Light Hope's, I said. Yeah, She-Ra's job is to bring the princesses of power together, and the rune stones will link their magic. We find out from Entrapta the rune stones are linked, and with them all, we can hack the planet. I'm just like, hacker reference.
That right there. You know what? If this were any other media, I would have said, wow, they're really jumping the shark.
Yeah.
But no, in this one, it actually, everything's, the whole world is technology, everything's linked, hack the planet.
A combo of technology and magic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the technology and magic.
Scorpia finally mentions, the Black Garnet, and they're like, what? Yeah, the Black Garnet, it was my family's, they gave it to Hordak, so now I don't have any powers, it's just like...
Yeah, that was my family's.
She said, if I wanted to get my hands on one, and she says, well, the Black Garnet's right in the other room.
Yeah, the Black Garnet?
I love Scorpius just very... Oh, you mean that thing right there?
Yeah, exactly. She's great.
I think this also was when Catra's like, why didn't you tell us? This was covered in Force Captain orientation. I really should have paid attention to this.
Yeah, and this is when we see Hordak's Imp, and he returns to me.
Yeah,
tell me everything you heard, and here's the whole thing.
Okay, yeah, that's when the Imp...
Yeah, and then Dora's like, that's all great, that's wonderful. How do I heal? Okay, that's what you wanted to know.
Wait, hold on a second. Did something I say, get lost in confusion? I could start from the beginning again. No. It's like that damn owl from Ocarina of Time.
Did you catch all that?
No.
She said, oh, well, you train here for a couple of years, and you'll be able to do all kinds of things.
Wait. Years?
Yeah.
Years. It's not gonna, go over time. You can't just, sleep for, 8 hours and you're gonna be, great and everything.
Yeah.
One of the big things is you don't want to have connections. You don't want to be like the previous She-Ra.
Yeah.
Because that's when we learned that the previous She-Ra wasn't able to make the big decisions because of her friends.
Yeah. Adora blames herself, and Light Hope's like, you have to save the planet over saving your friends. We learned that Mara, the last She-Ra, gave herself to fear and faulty reasoning.
Wait, what was that name?
Mara.
Wait, that's the same name as...
Madame Raz.
Yeah, Madame Raz was mentioning.
Who knows?
Connections.
Yeah, very specific wording.
Raz.
Yeah. Well, Ben loved her immediately too.
She's great.
There's specific wording from Light Hope. She
That's
gave herself
future.
to fear and faulty reasoning, which compromised her.
Yep. Fear and faulty reasoning.
Yeah, compromise. What that mean?
Said so wonderfully like a computer.
Yeah, she stranded herself and the planet and stopped the line of She-Ras. Adora again pleads to Light Hope. I just want to learn how to help. And this is when Light Hope shows a bunch of all of the memories she's guilty about. And says, you're better off without Glimmer and the rest of them. It's just like, oh, Jesus Christ, Light Hope. What the hell are you up to? Back in the fright zone.
You actually see Ketra and Entrapta and everyone start hooking up the Black Garnet.
Yeah.
Shadow Weaver comes in and she is not having this.
Yeah, what
She's
are you doing, Ketra?
Stop. I knew you were a nuisance. How dare you do all this? And of course Ketra's like, You done?
Yeah.
Snaps fingers. No,
like-
sorry. It was like, you have no authority, and all of a sudden you just hear Hordak just, actually, yeah, she does.
Yeah, Hordak put Ketra in charge.
Yeah, you've been a plague on this whole thing. You've been focusing on the smaller details, Shadow Weaver. So Ketra and her crew, they're going to be in charge of this operation now.
Yep. Yeah,
and
they're blessing to weaponize the Black Garnet and the other runestones.
And of course, Shadow Weaver, like I said earlier, ain't having this shit.
Yeah.
So she actually attacks Ketra, and of course Ketra is, wonderfully,
Agile
fighting.
and strong.
Yeah,
She says all the years of all the torture and all the abuse, now I know exactly how to take you down. It's just like, oh, that's a very nice little win for the evil crew.
Right, yeah. And of course,
Legit.
wait, is it really a win for the evil crew if they're both part of
They're
the
taking
evil crew?
down their pseudo DM boss.
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah, it's just like everything you've been training me has been for this point, and then, bam, breaks the small gemstone that's on Shadow Weaver's forehead, and of course she's like, "No, my garnet, no, ah!" And I'm just like, "That's awesome." Like, I know it's kind of a big deal,
Yeah.
but my God, was that satisfying?
It was satisfying.
Oh, absolutely.
And she just orders Scorpio to just take her away and lock her in the prison. It's just like, oh boy, Catra's in charge now.
Yeah, Catra finally.
Yeah, but that was intense. But now cut to comedic Swiftwinds regaling Bo and Glimmer about all the freedom and
No, the freedom.
horses.
I said Swiftwind because it's the Swift Winds of Justice.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna
revolution.
Gosh, I
Oh
love
my-
him. He's so
He's
smart.
so amazing. I'm gonna free all of my brethren, one stable at a time. I'm just like, I love you so much.
Although I will say, at first I was just like, they went there, but then they ham it up so much. You can't help but laugh.
Did
He's
original,
hammy in all of the good ways.
Did original Swiftwind talk?
I believe so. Yes.
I know Battlecat from He-Man talks, which is always weird whenever I see it.
Ugh.
Cringer.
Cringer, huh?
Yeah, Cringer is the name of the cat. And then it goes
Well,
to,
yeah, you're right. Because it's such a cringer for the cat to talk.
Although
I don't
it
know
wouldn't
about
be
Swiftwind.
if Noelle Stevens can get over that
Oh, it'd
series.
be wonderful.
But no, she's blocked yet again.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Talks, and unfortunately, us millennials don't have it.
Yeah.
And of course,
Or is she a millennial, or is she
Noelle, I believe, she's around our age.
Okay.
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think she is about our age. So.
A bunch of forest creatures are stampeding as Swiftwind continues to sense where Dora is.
She's over there.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. But guys, why are the creatures running?
Yeah. And
Oh,
they dropped us like, the Garnet's growing stronger, it's drawing power.
And by the way, since Swiftwind was introduced, we kept forgetting a very important thing he kept saying.
Mm-hmm.
He feels like something bad's gonna happen.
Yeah, you're right.
We don't know what it is yet, but every once in a while he mentions that he feels like something bad's gonna happen.
It begins to snow, and the crew finally reach the giant structure. Swiftwind uses his connection to open the building without saying the password, being She-Ra. They dodge the dangers, and they finally find the passed out Adora just lying on a slab. All of this crazy stuff is happening to her.
And of course, Swiftwind's like, "Hey, I'll be able to talk to her. You guys, try to defend me while I'm doing this."
Robugs.
Yeah, Robugs attack. And then, of course, it's like, he makes a connection, and of course, Adora's like, "Wait, Swiftwind, what do you... Wait, no, sorry. Wait, horse? Yes, I know, I'm a talking horse. But now, listen, you can talk? I see why you're friends with Bo and Glimmer."
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah.
Adora's like, I can't. I have to save the planet over my friends. And then Swiftwind's like, that's incredibly stupid. Get out here and save your friends.
Pretty much, he's like, "Wow, that's stupid. I didn't realize you were just gonna mope here.
Yeah.
I'm not moping. Yeah, you're moping,
I love how
kid.
immediately he's like, yeah, he disagrees with Light Hope. It's like,
Oh,
no, get
so-
out and
so
help
you-
everybody.
yeah.
Help the people you love. It's
Yeah,
just,
help the people you love. I mean, if they didn't care about you, you actually see what's happening outside. Why would they be fighting for you right now, as we speak?
Yeah.
And of course, it was just like, and then of course the connection is made. I'm not Mara. I'm someone completely different.
Yeah.
I don't have to be bombarded by what happened to her. I can make my own. I'm like, thank you, Adora. And all it took was a talking horse.
Yeah, and we got another.
Sorry, Swiftwind.
Yeah. And
The
then we
great
got,
and mighty.
one of the long, elaborate magical transformations for She-Ra, and she just starts taking on all the robot spiders very easily.
Yep. And then
They
group
fly
hug.
out. Yeah, they group hug. They fly out on Swiftwind, and we see
And-
the Black Garnet's just draining energy and making a giant evil beam.
Yep, it is like giant evil beam, and it's all snowy and stuff, and it's just like, hey, Swiftwind, can you please go quickly? I can try.
Yeah, and Catra and Scorpio are looking real happy.
And that's when this episode ends.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So, between the Mara reveal and the Light Hope being like, forget your friends, save the planet.
Now, okay, so, first off, I might be wrong on this one, but any training montage that has to do with either Avatar or Yoda, where you have to forget everyone and just focus on the training, am I the only one that got vibes like that?
It's absolutely that kind of thing, but also like once again the heroes like rejects that immediately.
Right, yeah, and of course, I like how every single time they say if you don't finish your training, bad will happen. Does it ever happen?
Yeah,
No.
for I would say in all those situations it probably happened.
Well,
for Luke, Vader cuts his hand off and then throws him down a tube, and his friend gets frozen in carbonite. And then for Aang, he goes to Ba Sing Se and gets killed by Azula. But maybe it'll turn out different for She-Ra.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, either way, just this episode was very interesting because we actually get Light Hope, not as the what is your query? What is your query? No, we get Light Hope.
Yeah, I was also gonna say, well, questioning if she's on the level or not with her weird like forget everything, do what you need to do, but we also finally get the function of the rune stones and the elemental.
Yes.
I don't know if we brought that up specifically, but it's just elemental princesses.
Yeah, they do actually mention
Yeah, we
that.
forgot to bring that up in the but yeah, specifically elemental princesses have these rune stones.
So which leads me to believe that Moonstone is apparently
Or
an
Runestone.
element. No, the Moonstone Runestone.
What's that? Is the moon what's in She-Ra's?
The Moonstone is Bright Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you're right.
Yeah, the Moonstone Runestone. Apparently, I know that's a really interesting thing to say, but apparently that's an element.
Yeah. The sparkle magic or the glittery. Well, we'll find out more about her
Probably
abilities later.
I thought of it as like the element of space because she can like teleport.
Or light.
Space
or light, perhaps,
Yeah,
but
something like
I mean, yeah, because Black Garnet seems to be dark,
Well,
so they have to have a dark.
We'll learn more
light.
about that later.
Either way, we're getting off slightly off topic.
Oh yeah.
So, what was your question for this episode?
Well, I already talked about Light Hope and her weird, forget everybody, save the planet, and also the Mara reveal that she supposedly came over to fear and faulty
Yes.
whatever that means, 1,000 years ago,
yeah.
and stopped the line for some reason.
But you want to know something?
Mm-hmm.
You know the crazy, and I know this is a minor detail.
Separated the planet into the dimension of Despondos. They said.
Despondos?
That's why there's no stars and
Yes.
that's why there's no stars and no other planets around them.
Right. Okay, yeah, I know. I do remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But that actually opened up a question for myself. I know it's a smaller detail, but Madame Raz is old. No. Like, I don't mean that in a silly,
absolutely.
funny way. I'm just like, wow, because Madame Raz was around when Mara was around, and now
And
you
she
find out
was
it's
old when Mara was around.
yeah, and she's been here for well over 1,000 years now.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, what are you? Again, I'm like, this is like, I'm kind of interested in all this now because Mara was the last one. It was 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
When the last Shira was. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, I don't know if be any more information on that. Who knows?
No, we will eventually.
But yeah, also the evil crew finally being put in charge by Hordak.
Yeah,
Shadow Weaver seems to be out of the picture too.
I hope so, but she's probably not fully.
Who knows?
She's probably going to appear in season 2.
Well,
oh no! Spoilers! She's not in the last episode.
I'm about to say, I want to go into Shadow Weaver entirety. I really love every character in this goddamn show.
Hey, you want me to be honest with you?
I can't say enough positive shit about them. They're all wonderful.
You want me to be honest with you? I may not like some as much as the others, but I'm with you on that one. All of the characters are likable in some way, enjoyable. I mean, some of them you instantly like. Like, I still cannot get over Scorpia's introduction. Big, menacing, looming shadow. Kitty.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no!
Yes.
Seahawk. Enough said.
Yeah.
Enough said. Dude, even Mermista, because she's like got like the whatever kind of
I
attitude.
love her.
Every single one of these characters are so likable and so
And there's
darn
a lot more to come.
enjoyable.
And yet also different and individual.
Yeah, very diverse.
Which is very different from that 80s show that we were talking about, which is why I was just like, when I first took the time to watch it.
But then again, like with Voltron, an 80s show that's got revamped. DreamWorks does good work.
I was gonna say one of the random things I do remember about the original '80s She-Ra, because we talked about it like 2 weeks ago technically,
What's up?
was the Frosta episode of that. The Frosta who looks exactly like all the other people. The whole episode was just about her trying to get into Prince Adam's pants. It was just her trying to like practically sleep with him the entire episode. She had like no other personality than trying to romance Prince Adam. It was like that's all she did.
And then Noelle was just like,
Yeah.
10-year-old.
Yeah.
10-year-old who is very stupid.
And look, there's a lot of things in life to see. Not wasting it on what you just said.
Yeah, I know. She was a very different character.
Oh my goodness.
Just
that was the 80s plot with Frosta.
That's all she did. I think that's the only episode she was in.
Oh no. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? 2 things. One, I'm glad she's 10 years old now. And secondly, I'm glad she's pretty much, as cliche as it's gonna be, forgive the pun, but I'm glad she's cold.
Well, you're going to get, like everything else, you're only 1 season in, we're going to get a lot more of everyone's personality.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, trust me, I get it. But, I liked her introduction to this because she was focused and she was cold. She wasn't like all the other princesses who were like, yeah, okay, we're in on it. No, she was like, I have my own things to worry about. Yeah. You go play over there with your alliance.
But there's other facets that you will soon get to see, and it will be a lot of fun.
Yes.
I'm honestly looking forward to watching the second season because it is only 7 episodes. We're going to watch it like one sitting probably.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
you said it was like shorter than normal.
It's incredibly short and it ends on like a non-note. But we'll get there when we get there.
A non-note. I love those endings.
But yeah, speaking of endings, we are now on the season 1 finale.
Episode 13. The Battle of Bright Moon.
The forest is freezing over as the group flees.
Which, by the way, never happens.
Yeah.
They legit mention, this is not supposed to happen.
And they see that the Horde is behind it because the giant beam of dark energy coming from the front zone.
And because the forest is frozen, now the Horde can go to Bright Moon. Bright Moon's not protected anymore.
Yeah, Glimmer is still glitching, and she sees that, I just need to get back to Bright Moon. That's all we can do.
Yep.
Katra is told of the destruction the Garnet is causing, and Entrapta is glad her experiment is working.
Yep.
That's all she cares about.
Yeah, and I think this is actually when they mentioned the elemental princesses.
Yep.
This is specifically affecting the elemental princesses.
Yeah, and also we see that the power is increasing and it is sapping the other runestones.
Yes.
Katra wants the effect to be made permanent. They're heading to the main group is heading to Bright Moon to check the runestones. Angela is protecting the city best she can. A bunch of the other people are just running around. The gang flees in distress to get to the beacon.
Mm-hmm.
Angela explains how she's doing her best, but the stone, the Bright Moon stone, the Moonstone?
The Moonstone is what it is,
the Moonstones, is not being able to hold out. She-Ra doesn't really have a plan for the Fright Zone, and, just everyone get prepared is all that she can say.
Right.
Yeah.
When is it that we find out the new tweak in the Horde plan?
Not yet. Probably in a little bit.
Okay.
Because they're commiserating over the other princesses not being there to help. We have nobody else to protect us. The Horde's right here. What are we going to do? And then Spinnerella and Natasha are here. And everyone's just like, oh, God, you too.
Oh, yeah. Great. And I love... This part was great. Wait. You don't remember what I do you? Net-tassa? I toss nets. It's in my name. I'm like, yes. And I like it because Spinnerella's like... And they're wonderful nets, dear.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
But, of course, Glimmer still just doesn't have her powers and she's going to be unable to fight. I was going to say, once again, to bring it up, I don't want to say anything yet, because all we can do is not spoil for Ben and just keep, holding the conversation like that. But Natasha, again, one of my absolute favorite characters way later on. She gets a really amazing scene.
You know what I do like about, this moment?
Yeah.
This episode. Because when I first was watching this, Natasha and Spinnerella, I thought they were just side characters. No, they're not. They are not, and I'm glad that they're not.
Yeah. Adora wants to fight, and Bo says, you can't do it alone. And she's like, I need to take Katra down. She is just way too evil, and she just needs to go down. This is insane. She thinks that Light Hope might be right about giving up on everybody else, just focusing on saving the planet. Glimmer inspires her to keep on fighting.
Hey, look, we're friends, right? Yeah. Then just fight, dude. Come on.
Damn, you're right. Let's do this.
Well, shucks, you're right. Let's get going. Oh, wait, this isn't the 80s.
Yeah, they find the Bright Moon armory, and they just start trying out a bunch of different weapons.
Right? Yeah, like, because Swiftwind is like, hey, look over there. It's a giant hammer, and Adora's just like, no. And Swiftwind is just so sad.
Yeah, it's like, oh. Angela agrees that they need to fight.
Well, yeah, but I like it because Angela's just like upset. It's like, and of course Glimmer's like, what? Of course I'm gonna have a collection. And Angela's like, hey, you're doing good, but here, take this, and gives Glimmer her staff.
Yeah, Micah's staff.
Oh, yes, Micah's staff. Thank you.
Yeah, the attack starts, Adora transforms, and a bunch of tanks.
Dangerous to go. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, stop the chill out groove. Wait. I think we're jumping.
No. Right now it said the attack starts and Adora transforms. And right now the tanks are at the force. Like
no, I'm talking about like the thing that Entrapta figures out
regarding
the runestones and how they make the effect permanent.
Oh, I don't think that's yet, is it?
No, we passed it.
Oh, she talked about Catra wanting to make it permanent.
Yeah, and that's when you find out because Entrapta's like trying to figure it out, and Catra, because there's like this big globe that has lights that represent the runestones. Yeah. Catra breaks one of them, and all the power gets redirected and makes the one that's supposed to be the background stronger. Yeah. Forgot to mention that. So they change it from just draining it to actually breaking them.
Yep.
Yeah, Adora or She-Ra now takes out a huge number of the forces. But Entrapta's tech made everybody way too strong, and they were like easily taken down. The runestone actually begins to dim as Bow and Glimmer and Swiftwind join the fight.
Yep, and of course everything big battle ensues. I mean they work hard,
yep,
and
the castle taking a bunch of hints, and She-Ra's actually getting winded. She loses the sword at one point.
Yep, and she all hope seems lost. But then
we get a nice "Hey Adora" as Catra arrives to take down Adora herself.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That happens.
All hope seems lost, like I said. But then, what happens?
No, wait,
come on.
Catra has to kick their butts for a little bit.
You always focus on Catra.
Yeah. Well,
you're like, well, yeah.
Well, not just Catra, because Glimmer is stopped by Scorpia.
Yep. See, Glimmer is stopped by Scorpia. Yeah, I did actually forget.
But Natasa and Spinnerella take out Scorpia, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Catra is way too agile, and she just keeps dodging all of She-Ra's moves, and she is unable to hit her. But they do have a really rough fight against each other.
Yeah, they really do. But of course, Catra is the one who comes out on top. And yeah, it looks really bad.
She finally catches. She's like, "What are you doing? You're not gonna stop me." And she's like, "You. This isn't about you. This is about the runestones." It's just like, what? Just as Angela can't hold back anymore, and Scorpia once again just like beats up Glimmer, gets to the thing. The Hordes electro whip Adora, and she's completely tied down.
Yep.
Bo finds the sword, starts trying to run back. A bunch of super crazy robots start blasting Angela, and the thing. She just completely fails.
Yeah.
Glimmer overpowers Scorpia and rides the Swiftwind to go save her mother. This is a long. I'm just like
there's a lot.
Oh yeah. But then, as you said, but then a giant wave shows up. Mermista and Seahawk.
Yes.
Wash all the tanks away like a huge giant attack.
And literally, just glossing over some details because there's waves, there's vines.
Yeah, Perfuma.
Everyone, even Frosta.
Yeah, and I was to say, people's powers seem to be amplified by being near She-Ra as well.
Interesting.
It's like that was foreshadowed.
It's like that was the whole point of She-Ra.
Yeah. He recharges the stone, fixes the castle, and powers up all their runestones, stopping Entrapta and the Black Garnet.
Yep, and of course, not only that, but Glimmer's not glitching anymore.
Yeah.
She's been cured.
Yeah, now the full best friend squad is ready to finish this and
the Princess Alliance.
Yeah, they get the best friend squad still.
The best friend squad is only those three.
Hey, even Natasa and Spinnerella do some really cool moves in this big fight.
Yeah.
Oh my good. Again, I thought they were side characters. Then I saw this fight. I'm like, you know what? I apologize for what I thought about you.
I'm about to say, they all touch the sword and we get a big gay rainbow sweeps away the horde and Catra.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
It also
a big gay rainbow.
It kind of also harks back to that first, they call it an arc over in Japan, of Sailor Moon, where all the ghosts of the princesses help Sailor Moon fight, and all their colors come together.
Yeah.
It calls back to that.
It really does.
Which,
Yeah.
If Noelle is Miss Noelle is about the same age as us, she would have grown up with that just as much as I did.
Yeah, and we see a gigantic. Yeah, as soon as that's over and everyone's washed away, we get an adventure from Seahawk.
Because of course we did.
That's awesome. They all
That will never get old.
Yeah, they all congratulate each other and have some nice, commiserating time. It's finally they won. Angel is happy with everybody. Everyone's together.
Catra and Scorpia are seen leaving with the Horde.
Yep. Catra goes to Hordak and says the experiment failed, but Entrapta says, "I've learned so much. This is only the beginning."
I was gonna say, now wait a minute. The experiment actually was a success because we.
Oh, it didn't permanently destroy it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I learned so much about this, and of course, Catra's like, yeah, and I was the one who got the closest to Bright Moon.
I did more for the Horde today than anyone else has ever before.
Yeah, and since the forest is still frozen, they're still not protected.
Yeah.
And of course, this is when Hordak's like, you know what? Alright, you'll have more chances of proving yourself to me, my second in command.
Yeah. End of the season. The real win is Catra being promoted. That is the end of season 1. A crazy dramatic ending.
Oh my goodness.
Setting up the rest of the series from this point on. God, it was so good.
Oh my goodness gracious me.
Yeah, a lot to discuss regarding that first season. Ben, top 3 characters.
Top 3 characters?
Yeah. Right
now hold on a second. Just give me fill in the dead air because I do have to think about this.
I was like, for me, it's very difficult not to just say Catra, Scorpia, and Entrapta, but I'll say personally.
Hey, let's enhance the question a bit. Mm-hmm. Top 3 bad guys, top 3 good guys.
There's only 5 bad guys right now, so.
Hordak can still be one.
Yeah,
Shadow Weaver was very interesting.
Yeah.
See, I'm getting
and
you.
she's not gone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not really.
Well, so we think.
Yeah, but there's only I would say top bad guy, only one, and our top evil campaign side and top 3 good campaigns. There's just so many more on that side.
Okay, so I'm gonna go technical because my pick for
Obviously, you can't say the same person for both.
I'm gonna go technical. Like at the end of this season, like since the episode we just covered, favorite bad guy is Entrapta because Entrapta's still his best girl. Come on. As for the good guys, however, this one's a bit tougher. Like usually there's like ones that just spring out. But
I was gonna say, Tara and Kay, this question's also gonna be to you two.
Yeah, I'll let you guys
Of the
finish.
only first season.
Well, I know who your favorite
Top
bad guy is.
Honestly, it's very difficult because
Like
one, design and personality wise, I absolutely love. The other one, design and personality wise, I absolutely love. So
yeah, but here's the thing:
tie,
which one are you gonna choose?
Scorpio.
It was either gonna be Scorpio or Catra.
I know they're both tied. I love them both for completely different reasons because they're completely different characters.
But like you said, it was really tough because even though we don't have very many like main bad guys, Entrapta, Catra, and Scorpia, yeah, all 3 are well designed.
Yeah, but also like the insane we know nothing about Hordak, but the insane amount of like realistic quote unquote evil we see from Shadow Weaver over the course of this is also like really high level character. Right
Absolutely.
There. Like even the little we know about her, like we've seen this like from her POV, like we've seen her entire personality, and we know a lot about her. And we can see how, like, realistically, she is the awful person that she is.
Absolutely.
In, like more of a facets than you would, like, a generic evil person like Hordak seemingly is at this point.
But now for the good guys. Holy crap. This is actually a very tough one.
Yeah, honestly, it's very difficult. I'll say my top 3 since you're still going. Top 3 good guys would probably be, honestly, Adora, and then probably Mermista, and then... Oh, you know what? Never mind. Scrap that. Number 1, Seahawk.
At least you and I can agree on that.
Number 2 and 3 are tied with She-Ra and Mermista.
For me, obviously Seahawk has to be in there. You can't have a good guy top list and not have Seahawk. Yeah, he's very comedic, but when it was important, he really came out strong.
Yeah.
Adora / She-Ra, I have to admit, yes, she would be on there not because she's the main character.
No, of course not.
Because she had
a great character.
Yeah, she's a great character. She had really good design, and unlike a lot of other heroes, she actually doubted herself a lot.
And constantly, like throughout the entire season, is constantly doubted and stuff.
My third favorite, I I would say it's a tie between two because on one hand, one of them is like really good. The other one wasn't even on for that much, but is still really good. So I'm actually gonna give it to Madame Raz.
Oh, wow.
Because for the episode that she was in, not only did she, give us questions that later got answered, aka keeping on calling Adora Mara, but she was the one who realized, hey, Swiftwind could talk.
Yeah.
Well, at least she talked to him. And she also kind of helped Adora out in a very tough situation at the time. And she's so mysterious. We've only seen Madame Raz in one episode.
Yeah.
So, how can she walk on walls with ease? No, but in all seriousness, I hope in Season 2... Don't say anything.
Nothing.
I hope in Season 2 we get to see more of Madame Raz. Because I want to know more. Because all we know is that she knows Mara. Perhaps she knows more about Mara.
Oh, perhaps.
Who knows? Maybe that's going to be an important plot point for the next 7 episodes. Who knows?
Yeah.
But now, let's not neglect our guests.
Yep. Number 1 bad guy side and top 3 good guy side.
All right.
For just this season.
Only one bad guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. For me, it's Shadow Weaver because as a villain, she's very compelling. Whereas, although they're technically on the bad guy side, both Catra and Scorpia, though wonderful characters, there are moments where we see into them when we empathize. As of right now, though compelling, Shadow Weaver is not an empathetic character. She's a fearful one and a manipulative one. And yet there's something about her that draws you in. You want to know more about her story. Why is she so vindictive like this? Why is she so power hungry? So there's something about her that just fascinates me. Although her voice has a large part to do with it. Even if she was voiced by somebody with the exact opposite kind of voice, like, I don't know, me with my little darling voice, could probably, she's really well written in a way where you don't want to empathize with her, but you want to watch what she does.
Yeah, I mean, she's a very good villain. You don't like her.
Yes.
Like you said, you don't... But she still has the... her manipulative, her dominating demure, there's also a hint of mystery, because we still don't know everything about her, kind of thing. Yeah, I see where you're coming from with that.
Yes, absolutely. So that's my choice on villain. K-Bug?
Oh, I have to do villain now?
Yeah,
Yep.
pick a villain that you liked. In season.
I mean, you're on the show, so.
I
know season 1. I'm gonna have to go for Entrapta, just because I love how she's the type of evil that isn't actually evil.
Yeah,
chaotic neutral.
She's chaotic neutral.
Yes, I know that.
Yeah,
but it's like when you walk into like a corporation and you see all these like stuffy business people, you see that one really weird girl over in the corner just with her like decorated cubicle. That's Entrapta.
You know what? Yeah.
She's like,
except she doesn't
it's like, hi, I made really weird muffins. Do you want some? Like,
I
that's
tried
her.
mixing blueberries and cranberries, and instead it created a mush where the middle didn't cook all the way, but it's still good. Would you like to try some?
That's Entrapta. Like, that is her, and I love Entrapta so much just because she is like
chaotic and weird.
She's chaotic and weird, and she's not really great with people, but she understands that because she's like, I live in a palace full of robots.
Yeah, and I like that she embraces it, kind of.
And all she wants to do is just figure things out. Like, she doesn't want to be like, oh, I'm going to try and blow this thing up. Instead, she sees it as, hey, I messed up. But how did I mess up?
Yeah, it's
and like with the whole, the experiment failed thing, she was like, it didn't fail. I learned a whole lot. We can still work with this. I'm like, she takes a bad situation,
makes it good.
Yeah, and just twists it and makes it a positive thing.
She's like, you fucking horde people are like downers. We learned a lot. You guys might not have done anything, but I learned a lot, so I think this is a success. You guys can go over there.
It is a very good lesson to teach too. That you don't learn from success, you learn from failure.
Exactly.
But that's like, she's like, go in your Debbie Downer corner. Jeez.
Yeah, I also absolutely love the one minor new facet of the personality was when she was like not talking down, but like trying to communicate like a complicated idea to Catra and Scorpia by like overly like talking down to them was a really like funny scene.
Just
like, I'm using the glowy rock to make the machines better, and they're just like, huh?
I just like it because it's like in the first Avengers movie, Stark is like, if I do the blah 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 blah, and Rogers is just like, speak English. You see the red lever? When I say pull it, pull it.
Yeah,
it's like that.
It's really fun, but she's like amazingly funny.
Yeah, like that English, please.
Because she does, and just because she hasn't been around people, the only thing she can really do is literally treat them like children who don't understand.
Yeah,
right.
So she's just like, fucking, the computer makes this better.
Yeah.
But how does it make it better? I don't fucking know.
I know, but you don't.
Yeah, like, I know. Don't worry about it. It'll make sense.
It's like, just let me do my
watch.
thing.
Yeah, just watch.
Good guys.
Yeah, 3 good guys. Tara, you're not exempted from this.
Yes, absolutely. Good guys. Top good guy.
Well, I kind of already have mine, so.
You go on yours.
Yeah, then you
Alright,
go first. Yeah.
Mermista. I love her.
Absolutely.
She is a sassy bad queen, and I love her so much. Second one, Bo. You have to love Bo.
He
literally is the heart of the group. Like, if Bo just fucking disappeared, everyone would be like, where the hell did he go?
Yeah, absolutely.
They did.
But now it's a bigger group.
Yes.
Do you know what's going to happen if he disappears with a bigger group that everyone loves Bo? So they're going to be like,
yeah, exactly.
like, they're going to start freaking out, and then they're going to fall apart.
Dude, even Perfuma. I mean, heck, the girl went to princess prom with him. He leaves, she's going to be like, where is he?
She did ask her exactly, like, where's Bo? Have you seen him? He's been with me? It's like, yeah, he's an amazingly lovable character. Like,
he really is.
It's insane how well he's written and to be, like, such a likable... That kind of character could be really obnoxious or something like that, but he is, like, so wonderful to watch and be with the crew.
He's positive enough where you're like, okay, I can see that being in a real person, but he also has his, like, downsides. Where he's kind of airheaded.
Well, again, I know I've beaten this down to a pulp, but he's literally Bolin, because Bolin is exactly that. He's positive enough where you're like, oh, you're so gullible, but he has moments where you're just like, okay, but you're real person like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you could probably find someone in your life that is either parts of Bo or he like just almost entirely Bo. That's why and the third good guy I like. It's gonna have to be.
Dun, 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 dun.
I would do Seahawk, but you guys already know. I'm actually gonna go with Frosta because I love her.
Oh, she's so adorable.
I mean,
Frosta.
this is also just from me. Future,
yeah.
But it's also just the fact that she's this little girl who has so much responsibility on her shoulders, and she's like, fucking listen here, I am 10 years old, but you're acting like a 5-year-old. Fucking sit down and time out right now.
Yeah.
Like, go over there right now. I don't care.
She's, like, highly mature for her age, but then again, she has to be.
Yeah, because she's one of the other people that hasn't had friends.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She has all this responsibility on her shoulders, because, did her parents just, like, die too?
I don't
know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
it hasn't been explained.
So, yeah.
I don't even remember myself. But she's another character, kind of like Entrapta, where you don't know what happened to her parents. You don't know when they disappeared and how long she's been raised by other people. But the other people that raise her don't treat her like a person. They treated her probably like an adult, even when she was a toddler, where she was groomed to be the perfect princess. Yeah. While Entrapta didn't seem to have anyone raise her, and if they did, then it was probably robots.
Yeah.
So there's two different... So we have someone who was with humans, but acts more like a robot, and then we have someone who's raised by a robot, but acts more human.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you put it that way, because I only know her from the 2 episodes she appeared in, but when you put it that way with Frosta, it actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they're the polar opposites of each other.
Absolutely.
But of course, Frosta does take a huge personality jump, and later not huge,
right?
But it does have a personality change in later episodes where you actually see that she is still a little girl.
Yeah.
And now she has people that are like, yeah, fucking be a kid. And she's like, okay.
I can be child?
I can be a child.
What?
Yeah, so now she has
Although you see hints of it in Battle of Brightman.
Well, yeah, that's still,
Yeah,
it's
she
just
gets a
like,
little excitable, yeah.
child. She's like just a little chaos. She's this refined girl on the outside, but she's just this ball of chaos and like high energy on the inside. It's great.
She's a tea kettle. She sits,
Kind of.
she's refined, but everything is building up inside. But she's, you know, she has responsibilities and stuff she's not allowed to. But then, of course, you know. So, yeah, okay.
Or she's more like a firework, really. Because you're sitting there and you're waiting for and you're waiting for it. Then when she does explode, you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah, but here's the only reason why I wouldn't say for a firework is because when a firework booms, it lasts for a few seconds and then it's gone. When she explodes...
Not if you record it.
That's forever.
You know what? Can't argue with that logic. Certainly don't want to try. Tara.
That is forever.
Your top threes.
I really have a weakness for characters like Bo.
Yeah.
I have such a weakness because, like, him, Bolin.
Lirio.
Oh yeah, if
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Lirio.
Yeah.
I've written characters like that, but also Zack Fair from Final Fantasy is like that.
Oh my god, yeah, he
Starfire from the TV show version of Teen Titans. I have such a weakness for those little Ray of Sunshine characters.
Disclaimer, when she says TV show, she means the original animation. Not Teen Titans Go, not Titans.
Yes.
Teen Titans, you know.
The good one.
The best one.
The best one.
Still
Because
a
it
good
balanced humor and seriousness,
Yeah.
in my opinion, is one of several reasons.
But yeah, I can see where you're going with like Starfire and I already forgot the
Zack
name. Zack
and
Fair.
yeah,
and Bolin.
just those. Yeah, and Bolin, and there are other characters like that, but they've escaped my mind at the moment. But those,
Yeah. Like
when
super,
it's well handled, the Ray of Sunshine characters get me.
I can understand that.
It's just, they make me so happy. It's just a straight shot of dopamine to my brain.
That's fair.
And then also, he does have a clever side, and he's kind of almost like Sokka in that way, where sometimes he's just like, what is life? How do I do things? And then sometimes he's really clever, out of the blue, and there's a balance to it. Although in the early bits, he's definitely more ditzy. But you'll see some of his clever aspects later on. And
like the first time I think that I remember at least where he had his most clever side was the Entrapta episode.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. The reason he's there is because she's an adventurer like he is, and he's like.
Yes, and you'll see more
her.
of that later on, especially now that they don't have Entrapta, so he has to step up his game.
As like the tech person.
Yeah,
You're gonna see a lot of that coming
and
up.
it's really cute because you actually also get to see him frustrated, what he's like when he gets frustrated, and that is just. You just want to be like, oh, buddy, that sucks.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot put upon Bo, but he is a adorably bright character that.
Yes. And even when frustrated, you just want to pinch his cheeks. And then also, I love the fact that they took this very Ken-like character from the original. They gave him dark skin. They gave him a whole new personality. They gave him. Representation's important.
Yeah. No. I'm thinking of something else. You do your thing.
They just vamped him up into somebody that's lovable and believable. Second, Kaylee and I are going to have a lot in common because we're together for a reason. It's been 9 years at this point. But Frost is my second because it was a very strong introduction. And then they hint at the very, very end there that, you know what? She's not exactly what you think she is. She has to put forth this front of being the serious ruler, but then she is, in fact, a 10-year-old, and even some of the most stern 10-year-olds that I've ever met, at least, or stern children in general, have moments where they're going to giggle and laugh, and in this case, it was using her powers to fight, because she's had to be so refined and such a ruler-like type from such a young age that she probably never had an opportunity to do that before, which I really enjoy.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a reason that she's called like Ice Top because just like Top in her introductory episode, literally a super prim, proper family that's like overly handheldy with it because of her handicap. She's very proper, she's very dressed up, she's very made up, and then like the second she's out of their sight, she's literally a wrestler.
She's like,
yeah, loud, screamy wrestler, super energetic type. We're gonna get as we keep wanting to hint, we're gonna get a lot more of Frost's personality when she's like actually able to be herself as opposed to the
part of the
restraint
group.
she has
She's
now.
gonna be more thoroughly part of the group.
Yep, the entire Princess Alliance will like actually have a lot more time together from
And
this point
dynamic,
forward.
yeah. You'll get to
And
see
we're gonna
them
see a lot more of her
interact.
personality.
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be
and she's going to be a lot of fun, I guarantee you. Now, as for my third, I keep waffling on my third, but I do really like Perfuma because she's very much the, I don't think I'm the strongest, but darn it, am I going to try? And I admire that. Because a lot of the times I feel that way myself. I empathize with her. You know what? Maybe I'm not necessarily the most powerful, or maybe I'm not the shining star, but not everybody can be. So I'm still going to try. And I admire that about her. Plus, she's very sweet and kind-natured, and some of the other personalities in the show, even Bo, even though he's peppy and happy, he can be almost overwhelming. She is relatively mild in comparison, and I find that to be, narratively speaking, a breath of fresh air, because everybody else has such strong, evident personalities, and Perfuma she can be very silly at times, but she tries to be nice, but also tries to stay on task in a way a lot of the others don't. Except for maybe Adora, and even then, Adora gets so lost in her own head that even she loses sight sometimes. Mm-hmm. So Perfuma's ability to try and compartmentalize and, hey, no, guys, remember, this is what we're supposed to be doing, is definitely refreshing to me.
Yeah.
And that isn't to say I dislike any of the other characters. Mermista's sass, 20 out of 10. I love Seahawk's obnoxious everything. His overblown sense of confidence that's to make up for his own insecurities.
Yeah, absolutely.
The fact that he burns his ships, what?
Every single time.
Every single time.
And yes, I mean, I understand that, like, we're doing, like, a top 3, top 1 villain thing.
And for a show that is chock full of memorable characters, it's not like there's a mile between your favorites.
No,
there's a millimeter.
So much. Yeah, exactly.
And like you said, though, Tara, it's not like I'm saying, no, the other ones suck. No. Every single character that has had screen time, there's, like, you can't, like, not like them.
Yeah, they're all immensely likable because they're all amazingly written. So.
I mean, the closest to dislike I had, like I've mentioned before, was Angela, because it was the overbearing parent/leader thing. But there was a moment where,
you can actually find people like that in real life.
Exactly.
All these people, you could probably be like, hey, you're like Mermista. Oh, hey, you're like Frosta. Or, hey, you're like Bo. And, hey, why the fuck are you like Seahawk? That's weird.
Your mom is like Angela at times.
Wait a minute. Does that mean Ed is like Seahawk?
Yes. Except instead of adventures, it's I'm not wearing hockey pads.
After the recording, I have a story about that.
No,
but anyway, no, just trust me on this one. It's not as bad as you think. But anyway,
anything is bad when it involves
anything
that.
I wanted to say, Ben, projection for what you think the series is going to go for the next 4 seasons.
I hate it when you do this to me.
We'll just take a wild, dumb guess that we can make fun of later.
Yeah, I know. We need content and stuff like that. Well, not necessarily for season 2, but I already mentioned how I already think that Hordak, I almost call him Hordark again. Hordak. I already told you about how I think Hordak is gonna do something that Entrapta and the other like main bad guys are gonna be like, oh, we don't like it, we're gonna be good guys. I already explained that. Blah blah blah. You already heard that. But however, I think that there's gonna be obviously a lot more with Adora. Who knows? Maybe there's gonna be a time jump where Adora actually does the training that Light Hope is like, you need this. Swiftwind is gonna free more horses, as always, because that's why he named himself that. Glimmer and Bo are probably gonna have more about them, because let's be real, season 1 was mainly about Adora and her powers.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like coming forward, like Glimmer and Bo are probably going to have a lot more development. I mean, they've had good development, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they didn't have enough, but they're probably going to have even more going on. And, of course, shenanigans are going to be ensued because of the princess... I almost called them the Princess Squad.
Yeah,
no, it's the Best Friend Squad. The Princess Alliance. You know what? You want me to get wild?
Yeah.
Let's get wild. Entrapta is gonna make a nuke.
Oh boy. Well, Ben, we'll see how wrong you are in the future.
Yes, I'm counting on it.
We can't go into it, but we'll get there when we get there. I'm glad you enjoyed the series.
Once again,
introducing you to the series just like Young Justice.
Again. Actually, I'm gonna compare this more to Korra. Because except for with Korra, I missed the mark, and you guys were like, "What? Watch this!" And I watched it, and I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing!" I wanted to say goodness, but it came out as gosh. Gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
With this one, if you did not say, "Hey, we're doing this one," I would have overlooked it. Like, there's no question about it. I would have overlooked it. But you're like, "Hey, this is what we're doing." And we have two friends here who not only, are representatives and are part of the LGBT crowd, but they've seen the show too. And they loved it. Yes. I'm just like, okay. And then I watched it, and again, like, wow, this was a lot better than I thought, and I love this so much.
Good.
I can't wait to finally get through season 2.
Yeah, we just watched it in one season, so it's 7 episodes. Yeah, alright, let's close this hour-and-a-half episode up for today. I'll just get my plugs out of the way since I'm probably over with the most that I want to go on again. Matt Dula's podcasts, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Patreon, YouTube. Patreon and YouTube. Check out the Forgotten Minotaur King podcast. Check out the Forgotten Minotaur King book, available on Amazon, art by Tara Nestor. Check out Action Toon Bros if you're not already listening to it. I don't know how you got this far, not know what the podcast is.
Yeah, right.
Check out Movie Garbage with our other friend of the podcast, Ed.
Wait, isn't Chris also in that one?
He's occasionally, but he's not like a regular host. He's also on this show.
I mean, it's good to mention him.
Of course, yeah. Check out our friend Chris on his social media. Check out everybody.
Whatever his plugs are.
Yeah.
If he has any, that is.
Go around table.
I have no plugs still. What about you, Kaylee? Do you have plugs?
No.
Tara!
So I guess I'm the only one. The only real thing I have is my name, Tara M. Nestor, TARAM NESTER, not OR. I'm not Nestor the donkey.
Yeah, there's a reference that a lot of people may not get.
I know I don't.
I suppose.
I do.
I figured, yeah.
It's an old movie.
Anyways,
Anyways, on I'll call them the big 3 social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Though I'm not super active as far as tweeting on Twitter. I mostly like the account Cats in Random Places because it's just cats.
I follow like Daily Hyena, Daily Possum, just them wearing random hats and whatnot. It's great follows.
Ooh, I gotta follow that too. Yeah, mostly I'm on there to look at other weird things people are posting. Mm-hmm. I'm also currently an intern for Northeast Ohio Weddings magazine. Although if you were to try to get me personally on there, it's run by multiple interns, so I probably would not be on there. My personals would be best. Again, I said this in the last episode, but at some point I do want to put out some of my own stuff, but they would be more creatively and story-based, given that I have an animation and writing degree, so
independent, not mainstream.
Oh my gosh! Even if it was mainstream, hey, at least I'd have the budget to make sure everybody
just
got
so long
paid.
as you have the creative freedom.
Yes, yes. So you'd have to read the contract and cry a lot. So those are what little plugs I have. If for some reason you did want to reach Kaylee, best would be through me.
All right, that wraps up this episode.
Yeah, that wraps up the season 1 finale of She-Ra and Princess of Power. So, thank you for listening, and like we always say in every single episode end, keep it sleazy.